I'd say normally it says it up here on the screen.
There you go. I got it.
But no, I think.
All right, hold on. Welcome back to another edition of the 3-Point Play. Thanks everyone for joining. Have our third member yet to join yet, but Scotty, we'll get you started. Obviously, just coming off the game winner for the Mavs, Luka, step back to freedom, 3-pointer to win the game and to tie the series. What do we think?
I mean, Luka's awesome, right? We've known that for a while.
Yeah.
I like the bigger issue is I think the Clippers. Like we've been talking about it on here for a couple weeks now, but they're not right, man. Something's weird.
Playoff P.
Playoff P delivered a game today.
I died. I mean, Charles, obviously he just says what he says and like whatever comes to his head, but they don't call me Championship Chuck.
Right.
Call yourself Playoff P. Such a beautiful line, but it's true. I mean, you can't be self-touting yourself as like just this unstoppable force in the playoffs when you haven't won anything. So,
right.
And that's just another case in point in my eyes.
Yeah, I'm looking. Hold on. This is great podcasting. I'm looking up stats on the fly here.
There we go.
Today he was 3 of 14. On Friday he was 3 of 16. So he's 6 of 30, 2 of 15 from 3 for 20 total points in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, and they won the last game.
Right. Well, I think ultimately, because Porzingis is out for the series too, right?
He was just out today. They said it was knee soreness. I was actually surprised he didn't play. I mean, Luka was limping around today, and Porzingis was like jumping up and down on the bench over there and he didn't play. I'd be kind of mad, but
I thought that was. I thought I had seen that report somewhere that they weren't.
Somebody say he's out for the series.
Maybe I missed it, or maybe it was something else. But I thought that it was Porzingis that was going to not be able to be back for the series. But I don't know. Regardless, do you think that the Mavs can? I mean, obviously it's a whole new ball game now that it's 2-2. So it doesn't. I mean, it's a best of 3 right now. So.
I mean, the Clippers talked about how they have all these wing defenders and all that stuff, but none of them, not even Kawhi. Like Kawhi kept Luka in front a couple times today, but it wasn't consistent. I mean, Luka does whatever he wants, and then his passing is just unreal. I mean, and then when you like Lou Williams today was awesome, right? He has what 36 points,
yeah,
right? But they pick on him in the pick and roll on defense every possession he's out there.
And
he can't guard either.
No.
And Harrell's not Harrell. I mean, he played 17 minutes today, had 2 points and 1 rebound. I mean, he's going to be the 6th man of the year probably. He had 2 points today.
Yeah.
They're just – I will be so – like Mark Jackson said today on the telecast. He said in like the third quarter, he goes, I've watched the Clippers play 4 games now, and I've watched them play another 8 in the bubble. And he goes, it just makes the choice to pick the champion even harder. Yeah. Like because I would have said before, I said Lakers, but the Clippers are better than the Lakers when they're right, but they're not right now.
So, yeah, I mean,
I could see this going to 7 games. Honestly, this could be the one series that goes to 7.
Well, I think Porzingis. I mean, obviously Luka can if he can do what he did, which is pretty hard to repeat. But if anyone can do it, it would be him. But he's essentially just got to put the team on his back. Fucking 43 points is 18 of 31. 4 for 10 from 3. Obviously, that's good enough to win you some games. But I mean, you got Trey Burke, the ghost of Trey Burke, comes out of nowhere and just keeps them, throwing back the clock to 2008, whatever year he was leading Michigan to the championship.
Curry's been really good.
Right. Yeah.
Hardaway was good today.
They've had a pretty good, well-balanced. I mean, obviously Luka's Luka, but they have some pretty good role players that they can hit their shots. And I don't know, but I think you said it. The biggest issue is really just if the Clippers can find their way. I mean, the Mavs, we know what they are, but if the Clippers just can't get their head out of their ass, then it's it could go to 7. So.
It might have been you I was talking to the other day, but I was talking to someone the other day. If the Clippers really pull this off, right, like they haven't had their whole team all year, but if they really pull this off in a month and they figure out a way to like get this thing rolling and they win the championship, it's like the ultimate for screw it, sell your soul for 2 years, get 2 of the top 5 guys in the league and win the title.
Right.
Because they have no business winning it, I don't think. They haven't been right all year. They haven't had a full team all year. They were starting to get it right there in March when they played the Lakers that last Sunday.
Yeah.
Before they shut down. And the Lakers played really good, but the Clippers weren't terrible. They were beating the Lakers for the first, second quarter of that game. And now the shutdown happens, and you have the Lou Williams thing. Harrell leaves, Pat Beverly's hurt.
Yeah.
Right, like Paul George he's in a funk. Like I'm assuming it's one of these next 3 games he's going to score 35 and shoot well. He's just not shooting well, and he was kind of pouty today. Like he passed up an open shot in overtime. I don't know why he why don't he didn't shoot it?
Yeah,
come on. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that could like kind of how the league shifted when LeBron they did the big 3 in 2010. Like I think that could be a strategy to kind of go all in like the Raptors did last year, and just like, all right, we're just going to go get a top 3 player, trade the whole farm for him, or just like go all out and sign him as a free agent and get our championship. And then if we suck for the next 5 to 10 years, so what, we got one, you know?
Yeah.
I think that could be a model that some teams follow if they know that they can't be, you know, sustained success and like build a core and build a franchise up from the ground up. Might as well just throw it all at a wall and hope it sticks for a year or two and get your championship and move on, you know? So.
Yep. I was going to bring this up later, but do you think 3 players are too many?
Say that again?
Do you think 3 dudes who need the ball to score, do you think it's too many? Because like today, Kawhi had it rolling, Lou Williams had it rolling, and Paul George sucked. You know what I mean? Like, is 3 too many? Does it get you out of rhythm? I'm going to talk about this later with the Blazers.
Okay.
But
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it depends on the 3 players. Obviously, if they have played together a lot and each one knows if they're slacking and they can make it up on the defensive side or just like, you know, move the ball and things like that. But obviously, the NBA is a different beast where it's just like who knows who's going to be hot and cold and who needs to get their 30 shots in, like freaking James Harden. You know, like he can shoot till he's blue in the face and, you know, make 25% but still get 35 or whatever he got yesterday. So I don't know.
I think you said it right. I think it depends on the players, right? Because we've seen this recently. Like we had the Warriors with Steph, Clay, and KD, and Clay could give a shit less. Like when it's his time to shoot, he'll shoot, right? Yeah. KD and Steph will do it, right? But with this 3, with Lou and Kawhi, I don't know if Kawhi, does he care? I don't know.
Yeah, he's
just really good.
He's wired differently to like not. Like
right. You probably wouldn't know.
Yeah.
If he did care, you wouldn't know probably. But Paul George today, like there was at one point, Lou Williams had it rolling. He had scored 3 possessions in a row. They throw it to Paul George in the wing. He dribbles it 8 times and shoots a step back fadeaway 3 of the guy. Like, why did he do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that Paul George is just a mental midget. Like he doesn't have he doesn't have the mental fortitude to be able to, you know, overcome adversity when the moment gets tough. You know, like he's never been in that position. And I think he'd shrivel up. Like he obviously has shown in the 14 buzzer beaters he's been guarding the guy who made the shot. I feel like that's the last 5 years he's been the guy who's guarding the guy who's like got the gall to hit it over him. So I don't know.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
Doc Rivers in the timeout today.
What's that?
It was like mid 3rd quarter, and the Clippers were playing like crap. They were down like 15 points. They were playing terrible. Might have been 12 points. But Doc was in the timeout. He did a great job. He's just like, hey guys, look, we're right there. We're within. I think it might have been 10 or 12 points, and he's like, we're right there. Just keep getting stops. We got to be better moving the ball on offense. But he wasn't mad or anything. It was pretty impressive for the way that they were playing because it was pretty terrible.
Yeah.
For a little bit there. But so I'm hoping he can figure it out because we all want the LA series, right?
Right. I mean,
that's the best matchup, right? It'll be the most fun. The league wants that, I'm sure, for ratings. Yeah. But the Lakers, we can talk about the Lakers too, but they haven't been great either. But I would take the Lakers over the Clippers right now just because they got LeBron. They got LeBron and AD.
Yeah, I think it's just it changes every night, you know. Like it's really who decides they want to show up. Because if they both show up and play to the fullest capacity, then I think it's a pretty toss-up of a Lakers-Clippers matchup, you know. But I mean, it just depends on who's going to be the team that comes out playing to their full capacity. So, and if the Clippers never figure it out and the Mavs shock them, then no one gets it, and then you fucking figure it out. So,
Yep.
cool. Do you want to move on to? You kind of touched on it a little bit. Sounds like the Lakers kind of, much to my dismay, sounds like playoff Damian may not. I know. Okay, nice. Thank you.
Backing up my Lakers in 5 pick.
Yeah, I mean that it could still be. I think the Blazers. I feel good about them maybe still stealing one. I don't think it'll go to 7 anymore, just from the way the last 2 games have gone. But obviously, you still gotta keep it rolling. But they definitely seem like they got it figured out.
Well, I think the biggest, like, we're going to talk about Philly and Boston here in a second because I want to spend some time on them, and we're going to play a game at the end.
Okay,
I have
cool.
a game for you. I think you'll like it.
All
You
right.
gotta be right. So they, Philly today rolled over. They fought for about 3 quarters, and it got to the 4th quarter today, and I kept telling Britt, Boston's going to make a little run here in the 4th quarter, and Philly's going to roll over, and they did.
Well,
I don't think the Blazers will roll over.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like you said in the last episode, too, is that it's these guys have kind of come to the realization, we're light at the end of the tunnel in the bubble. Let's go home and just live a life now. I don't want to do this life anymore of the bubble. Yep. So if they can just see here comes the Celtics. Let's just, kind of give it in and just roll over and die. So I believe that's obviously what happened. So,
yeah, I don't think the Blazers will roll over. Dame Lillard and CJ, that's not their mentality. They will not roll over. I think every game, the Lakers won that game last night, and they played okay. They were pretty bad in the first half and missed, LeBron and AD missed 10 free throws in the first half. It was pretty clear the Lakers were going to come back and win, or it was going to be extremely close with the way that they were playing.
Yeah.
But and the Thunder and Rockets were the same. I was telling Niles the other day because we've been talking about betting, and I said we need to bet on the Thunder because if they're going to win one, they're not going to get swept. Chris Paul is not going to allow them to get swept. He's not that kind of player. And Damon,
especially going up against his former teammates, the Rockets who traded him, right?
They're going to fight a little bit. And Dame and CJ, they're fighters. They're going to fight. If the Lakers are going to win this in 5, this next game, they better win this next game because if not, it's going to go to 7 probably.
That's
but
right.
I think next game, Dame and CJ, they're going to
come
out
first.
Yeah, Dame and CJ are going to come out after it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Anything else you want to cover on Celtics Sixers? Like you said, it was pretty straightforward. Once the Simmons news came out that he was out for the year, and Embiid wasn't really his 100%, and the Celtics the first couple games. I think it was essentially over before it even really started. But I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to touch on.
Semi-deep breakdown here, okay? Because I'm prefacing all this by saying I feel bad for Brett Brown because Simmons got hurt.
Yeah.
Right? It totally changes your team when an all-NBA player in your team goes out. He's going to be 13th all-NBA from the way it sounds of the votes.
Simmons is?
Yeah. He's going to be 3rd or he's going to be close.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's going to be between him and Beal probably.
Gotcha.
Right? Or Booker. Right? And they had to vote before the bubble, so I would say Simmons gets it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, he was really good. But Brown comes out with a quote right before Game 3. Okay?
Yeah.
The Celtics are clogging the paint, so feeding Embiid in the post may not be an option this game.
Not going to our best player.
Okay. So that's fine. Okay. I don't agree with that, right? You had 3 months in the quarantine. And the last 7 years? Yes, figure it out.
A rebuttal.
Okay, so there are basically three things you can do in the NBA or in general to guard the post, right? We see them all with the people we play, right? You can not double and you can allow the post player, Joel Embiid, to play one-on-one. Right? If you have time. Yeah, maybe, right? If you have Steven Adams or something like that, maybe you let him play one-on-one and see what happens, right? Okay. You can blitz him, right? You can just hard double him immediately, right? And then you're in rotations, and that's not a terrible strategy against Embiid because he's not a great passer.
Yeah.
Right? Especially if you do it after the dribble or something like that, and you kind of trick him and you don't come at the same time every time. He does struggle with that, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm Brett Brown and I know, right, there's 2 ways. The third way, which the Celtics did a lot, we call it scraping, right? Mm-hmm. You're faking at him, right? You're faking. Sometimes you go, sometimes you don't at all, right? It all depends. Like if Embiid would spin away from the help defender, then they would. Luke, what up?
What's up, man? You're missing out. Scott's going on a rant right now.
Sorry, I'm not even ranting.
Sorry.
I'm just.
No, you're all good.
Was getting the boys to bed. Also, I have not watched basketball today, so I'll offer some real insightful analysis here.
No, it's. I think you're in the same boat as I am, Luke, because Scott he called for an emergency pod and he wanted just to vent about the weekend because I didn't get a really chance to watch a lot either. So I'm just pretty much feeding Scott softballs for him to just go off on 5-minute tangents. So we're good.
I appreciate it. I got a game you guys can both play at the end. It'll be a good time. All right, so you play one-on-one, you blitz him, or you scrape him, which the Celtics did a great job of. It confused Embiid, right? They did great. So if I'm Brett Brown, I know one of those three things is going to happen, and I need to have things in place for that, right?
Right.
And so, like, Philly would throw Embiid the ball on the block, and they would just stand there, 4 guys.
Yeah, but I think, okay, so you kind of said – you had the whole summer to plan for it, but he didn't know that his second best player, Simmons, was going to be hurt for the year. That kind of changes your whole offensive approach and like how you can, do anything. So, yeah, I give him a little credit here that he had to kind of work on the fly a little bit there.
I would agree with that. And to his it's not his credit, but to like try to help him out, like they have no guards who can create. Their best creative guard may have been Alec Burks, which is fucking scary, right? So, like, no offense to Milton, who's really good. He can catch and shoot. He's good. Richardson, catch and shoot, good. Korkmaz, same thing. They can make open shots. But if you need to create off the dribble, like, and you're going to Burks, that's tough. And they had to do that. Like, and he got him 18 to 20 in game 1 or whatever it was. But it was a struggle for sure. But my point is, in the post, like, you need to have some plans, right? Like, if you know the Celtics are going to scrape, number one, you need to talk to Joel about going faster. He needs to make faster moves.
Yeah, but I feel like he's just going to do what he wants to do. I feel like he's such a selfish player in a way.
Then he's going to lose. Then you're going to lose.
I mean, and
you're going down with the ship.
I could never.
They're just
the way I think the way the Sixers are constructed right now, that they'll never. They're like built to get to the Eastern Conference Finals at best, and that's like if things go well for them.
Well, good, because that's part of the game we're going to play here in a second.
Okay, cool.
But so let me finish my rant.
Sorry, yeah, I keep interrupting.
They never got.
I have to get my jabs in there just to keep you honest.
You're good. Now, they never made any adjustments either. Offensively, right? No backside movement. You throw it in the post, 4 people stand. Set some backslide side flares. Get some dives going. They just stood there. It was driving me nuts. Next thing, they didn't adjust on the ball screens at all. They tried in game 3 to, like, show a little, and then Embiid wouldn't do it. They switched once, and the Celtics just killed him. But it was either piss poor execution of the game plan, or the players just didn't get it, or they didn't care, because they clearly did not adjust. They kept dropping on the ball. It was just killing them.
Yeah.
All game, killing them.
I would say I would say a combination of those 3 things. It's just like the game plan probably wasn't great, the execution wasn't great, and they probably just don't really give a shit. So
yeah, probably. Honestly, it got to game 4 probably.
Like, all right, guys, we're just gonna do the best that we can and act like you care, and if you don't care, then have a nice summer, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah, it was rough. I felt bad for Brett Brown because I felt like he was a little more animated in this last game, in the game 3, than he was in games 1 and game 2. So I felt bad.
Right.
Okay, let's play this game.
Hold on, I just want to check in with Luke. Luke, do you have anything to add for Celtics Sixers? Scott went off on his
nerd tangent.
Soapbox there for the last 5 minutes. I don't know if you had anything to add. I know it was pretty much a clean sweep, so I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to talk on.
No, like I said, I hardly watched any of that series. So, so it looks like, sorry if you touched on this already, but it looks like I saw something about Embiid talking about mulling over his future with the Sixers.
Yeah, I did see that come out here too. So, I mean, I think it's just him being dramatic, Obviously, he's going to start questioning things if he realizes that he can't lead a team past the first round. I think he's obviously just going to be like, oh, maybe I'll get recruited to go join the Warriors. When everyone's back healthy, I'll just go there. I feel like I think it's an antic that he's doing just to maybe drive some leverage up to the Sixers to finally do something about building a better team around him. But I don't know. I feel like you see that all the time with guys that are frustrated when they got their asses swept out of the first round. It's like, well, maybe I shouldn't be here, but that's my 2 cents, I guess.
And so odds are Brett Brown's gone.
100%.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Breaking news.
I'm not breaking anything, but he'll be fired in the next week.
Sources? Do you have your source?
Yeah, per source Twitter.
Chris Broussard.
Yeah. Oh God. No, I read the article about Embiid. Somebody asked him the question, and you have to answer it.
Yeah.
Why people ask the question right after the game? Like, what the hell do you think he's gonna say?
Yeah.
Like he said, I want to be
happy
here.
I think we got a really good thing going here. Obviously,
right.
We have what it takes to get to the championship when we got our asses swept in the first round. So we got everything going.
That was actually really close to his exact quote. I want to be here in Philly. I don't make the decisions. I'm here in Philly. Whatever happens, happens. I've always wanted to end my career here. If it happens, good. If it doesn't happen, well, you move on and all that stuff. What do you want him to say? That's a terrible question at that point.
That's about his, yeah.
Ask him about the game.
Yeah. All right, James, what do you got a game you want to play with us real quick here?
Yep. Okay. This is about Philly.
Okay.
Elton Brand gets fired and you get hired as the GM. Okay?
Yeah.
So you're the GM. The Wizards call. We'll give you Bradley Beal for Embiid straight up. Yes or no?
I would.
Luke?
I would get Beal. I would want Beal and some draft picks.
There's probably I'm giving you the main players in all these trades. I'm on the NBA trade machine right now, and some work and some don't. But some are going to have to involve some other minuscule players or salaries or draft picks. But I'm giving you the main
13,
parts.
maybe 3 or 4 teams involved.
Yeah, I got a couple 3-teamers.
There you go. Luke, what do you do?
I mean, I don't know. I would add some shooting, but I would try to keep the current guys in place. I would try to keep Embiid and Simmons.
All right, so you're not going to like my next 4 trades?
Would you go Embiid for Beal? That's not that you didn't answer the question.
No, I said I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
Luke's going to be a no to all 5 trades.
All right. Next one.
Okay. Next. Okay. I'm trying to get creative. OKC calls. Now, there's going to be draft picks involved here, obviously. But OKC gets Embiid and Marcus Smart.
Your boy.
My boy. Marcus was better today. He only took 1 dumbass shot.
Nice.
Philly gets Chris Paul, and they'd probably get some other players that I can't name. Boston gets Steven Adams and Shake Milton. Do you do it? You get Chris Paul. You got to give up Embiid.
I'm the Sixers
got to give up
GM.
Shake.
I'm the Sixers GM.
You're the Sixers GM.
I get Chris Paul, and who name my.
You got to give up Embiid and Shake Milton, and you get Chris Paul. So you have Horford, Harris, Simmons, Tybal, Richardson, and Chris Paul. No, you're out.
No, not with that contract. That's a fucking albatross.
Okay. I mean, if we're talking about contracts, what's the worst contract in the league? John Wall?
Yeah, I mean, has he played a game since he signed it?
No. Well, a couple.
You're like,
So
that's
John Wall, Chris Paul. I think Wiggins is in there, and that fucking contract got traded. And then I think 4 and 5 might be Harris and Horford, which you already owned. Why not own 3 of the 5?
Yeah, what's Horford's deal?
It was like 3 or 4 for 85 or 90, something ridiculous.
Hey, it's no Timothy Mozgov contract, though.
That's true, but it's still terrible.
Yeah.
Did you see that tweet I sent you that Fultz has hit more threes combined than Harrison and Horford in the playoffs? That's so terrible.
You know what? I'm happy for Markelle Fultz. Like he's carved out a role for himself. He's not the number one pick, but at least he's
been fine.
No one's harping on his ass. He's in Orlando. No one really watches or cares. He just get his minutes, get his time in.
Yeah, he's
He'll
making
have
money
a career and not have to be like criticized and chastised by the Philadelphia media.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Luke, you're a no on that trade?
No, and I'm telling OKC never to call me again with that. No.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, next one.
Thanks for calling.
New Orleans calls. There would obviously be some draft picks here. New Orleans calls main players, though. Joel for Drew Holiday.
No.
No, Drew. Okay.
I mean, Joel's a top 15 player. What do you think Drew Holiday is?
Probably top 30, top 35. He's a guard. Okay. All right. Let's try the other side. I tried to go for teams who actually could win on these next ones.
Okay.
So the Nets call. We'll give you Dinwiddie and LeVert for Ben Simmons.
I may do that one.
I kind of like it, honestly. I think that was my best one.
I've never really been a Ben Simmons fan. I just feel like, he's a slasher. He can distribute. He can't shoot. That just drives me insane that he's your main ball handler and he can't shoot a lick. Like,
yeah,
I'm willing to part.
Luke?
Yeah, I'd probably do that one.
Okay.
I would definitely see what you can get out of Embiid. I wouldn't be ready to trade him yet, but Simmons, maybe for some solid players that can play defense and shoot, and surround Embiid with that.
Yeah, I would like that approach too.
All right, this last one, you're selling out on being huge.
Okay.
You're the Philly GM.
Because that's the way the NBA is shifting to. That works.
It is. Well, if you're Elton Brand did sign Harris and Horford in the same year. So you're going to go ahead and sell out. And the Warriors call. And they'll give you Draymond for Ben Simmons and Josh Richardson. I mean, you get Draymond.
No way.
You would,
Draymond and Embiid on the same team. Could you imagine the petty wars and that shit? The passive aggressive subtweeting. That'd be that's like a soap opera in the making, I wouldn't do that.
Do you think outside the Warriors system, Draymond's the player that he is? I mean, I feel like he just fell into the perfect situation.
100%.
I would agree with that.
Those players, Simmons and Draymond, straight up
I think they could be the same player. They could Stephen Clay can get doubled. Ben Simmons can catch it in the mid, at that free throw line. He can make a play. He can go dunk, or he can make a pass to another shooter, or he can do that. He can be Draymond.
Yeah.
Right. He's not as tough.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm saying. So I'm looking at it from the Philly perspective.
Yeah.
And I don't think I get any better by getting Draymond than Simmons.
I told you I was trying to be creative on winning teams.
I appreciate it, but I know as a very rigid and experienced GM, I know what I want and know what I like to build my team. So I will very, very kindly say, "Good day, sir. No, thank you."
Oh, I know what else I was going to throw in the 3-teamer with Boston.
Okay.
I was going to send Hayward to Philly also. So it was Paul and Hayward to Philly, Joel and Marcus to Oklahoma City, and Boston gets Steven Adams and Shake Milton. The money is not even close to working out because Hayward makes $32 million as well.
Yeah.
But that's not terrible for Philly.
That's not. But
you get Hayward and Chris Paul.
Those are two enormous contracts that you wouldn't be able to pay anybody else.
Yeah, but you already fucked with Harrison Horford anyway. And you got Simmons who you're going to have to pay. I mean, they're going to pay him. Here's my thing with Embiid. He hasn't come in shape one time. Is he going to do it or not?
I would say no.
So then I would trade him. Keep Simmons. Simmons plays really hard. You know exactly where you're going to get out of him. Trade Embiid and get 2 guards who can shoot.
No.
Would you trade Simmons for Wall or would you trade Embiid for Wall and Beal?
I would have to know that John Wall is going to be himself again because no one has seen him play in 2.5 years, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you 2 guards who can make a play because right now they have no one who can make a play.
And then you got John Wall who can't shoot, really, and then you got Ben Simmons who can't shoot. So you got a bunch of guards who are, like, take it to the rim, non-shooters.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Let's have a team figure us out, and they can beat us and they can sweep us again. I don't know.
I feel like they're in no one either way. They're in trouble. They should have signed Jimmy Butler. That was their mistake.
Yeah.
He's been awesome for the Heat. He's awesome.
We got just a few more minutes here. You got anything else there, James? I like that. We should make that a new segment. New segment alert.
New segment alert.
Trade simulator.
Who is Philly going to trade for?
Trade simulator. Who says no?
Did you watch Lakers Blazers?
I did not catch it. I saw that I think the Blazers battled them. They only lost by 10 or 12 or so, or 8?
They lost by 8, but they were down like 12 or 14 with like a minute and a half to go. But in the third quarter, did you see the LeBron versus Melo battle that happened?
Yes.
It was like
2008.
Oh, dude. It was like Melo mid-post fadeaways. It was killing me. Killing me. Oh my Lord. So that was what I was talking to you about earlier though with the 3, right? Because in the first half, CJ and Dame had it rolling. They were rolling. They played well. I think they had 40 or 38 combined at halftime or something like that.
I just feel like they feed so well together. Like they both can cook and just like go off and carry them. Obviously, that's how they've gotten to where they are. But
right. So my point with the 3 people was like, so then in the third quarter, like Melo has it rolling, right? And so they're feeding him. Melo hit 4 straight mid-post jumpers on LeBron. Like he was rolling, right? But then CJ and Dame are now out of rhythm because they're just standing there watching them, and they didn't play very good in the fourth quarter. So that's what I mean by is 3 too many.
Well, especially when you throw Melo in there, and I feel like he's never been anyone that could get anyone else involved. Like he's getting the ball, it's going up. Like if it were a different kind of like a third player on the Blazers, like a guy that actually plays well with McCollum and Dame, I think they could really make it work. But having him be a washed up Melo who's just going to get his shots up when he gets the ball, then that doesn't really bode well for those 2.
Yep. Okay, put your GM hat back on again.
Cool.
If you had to pick right now, would you take Dame and CJ or Steph and Clay?
How old are each?
Right, you got to take them right now. So they're both like 30. I think Steph's 31 or 32, and Dame's like right there. I think Dame turned 30 in the bubble.
And Clay and CJ are the same?
They're close. It's close, I think. CJ might be like 27. He might be a little younger. I can't remember.
To be honest, I think I go Lillard and McCollum.
Luke?
Nah, I'm going Steph and Clay. Just because you get the defense that Clay plays, and he plays Steph so well, just being able to catch and shoot, and Steph has the ball. I like that combo a little better.
Right.
What do you think Steph's saying right now? Because I've heard people say like Dame's better than Steph now, and I don't necessarily know if that's true, but Dame is awesome. He's CJ really good.
If I'm Steph, I'm saying, who gave me fucking cornrows? Because this is a weird look on my head. That's all I have to say.
You want to talk about that for 3 minutes? You think they trade that pick?
He yeah, they do.
Me too. That's what I think too.
I mean, it's inevitable. Like that's a foregone conclusion in my eyes. There's no way they're gonna use that pick.
He had that smile on his face, like, "Oh my God, we just got the second pick. Who are we gonna get this pick? Who are we trading?"
But I don't know. This draft is so like it's not gonna be impactful at all. Like it does. I don't even know who the number one. Like it's not gonna be. Who's that Georgia kid?
Oh, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah. Like, I feel like it could go so many different ways, and there's just so many wild cards. Like, people, like, obviously, you know, they didn't have the full lights on them with the NCAA tournament to, like, you know, build their resume or like make a name for themselves. But I still
people question his effort, and that makes me nervous. Anthony Edwards. If there's ever a question of like lax motor, that's rough. That's not a guy I'd be drafting number 1. I don't think.
So you don't think Anthony Bennett was the right pick for the Cavs in 2015
No.
or whatever that year was?
No, but it worked out because LeBron came back. Thank God for them. I mean, you miss whatever. Jordan didn't go first. Like, it's so, especially this year is going to be even tougher.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're going to let him work out or how over Zoom or how the hell. Like, I don't know. I just think the Warriors are trading that pick, and I'm really, really interested to see. I'll come up with who they could trade it for.
I was gonna say, let's do
We'll do a
next podcast. We do some simulations of who's trading up to get 2 and what they're doing with it and the package they have to put together to make it happen.
Yeah.
I just think ain't no stopping Obi Toppin going number 4, the Bulls.
Oh God! Why a forward? They have enough forwards.
Hey, when you got a phrase like that, you just can't pass that up. Think of the
They
marketing.
got marketing and
Think of the marketing you could do with that phrase.
Bullshit.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen because, well, actually, no. It may not happen now that they actually have a competent GM who fired their
Would you
last
trade
coach.
Levine?
Huh?
Would you trade Levine
I would.
for?
I don't know.
He's okay. He's gotten better.
We could do some simulations of that too, because
We'll do that after. Let's
he's
do that.
fine.
After
He's okay, but he's never gonna lead. He's like a Mellow in his prime. I mean, that's being generous, but it's like he could get you a 7 or 8 seed, but he's not gonna get you anywhere you feel like you need to go. You know, you're not gonna go to the conference finals or anything with Levine as your main guy.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
I don't know.
What we got, like a minute?
Huh?
We got like a minute.
The timer didn't come up, so we may have a little bit more. I'm not exactly sure.
All right. Let's do it again Thursday. Some series will be over by then. Luke, be ready for your Pacers take after Game 4 tomorrow. Might be rough.
Yeah. Do we think it's going to happen? Or think they're actually going to think Nate McMillan's going to pull something out of his ass and steal a win?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my original prediction. I think they're going to come out scrappy tomorrow and eke one out.
Dude, they played hard the other day.
I think.
They every single game, but you get down to winning time and they don't have the go-to guy, and then tactically they're just overmatched. So they need like a 20-point lead going into the fourth quarter that they like barely cling to and win by like 3 or 4. That's my prediction for tomorrow.
I mean, I could see it. I was impressed with Philly in Game 3 because I kind of thought that after Game 2 they were going to roll over in Game 3. They played really hard in Game 3 and had a chance, and they played really hard today for about 2.5 quarters, and then it lost it. So I'm wondering how long the Pacers, being down 3-0, will they fight the whole time or not?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Vic did walk off the after he fouled out like a dick. So
yeah, that was.
He may have checked out.
We'll see. I hope they fight.
I think the Heat can run away with the East. Actually, the way they've been playing,
they've been good.
I think they give the Bucks a run for their money.
Mm-hmm. These next round series could be really awesome. Holy crap! Celtics are the Raptors winning right now? Is it over? They were kicking butt before we got on.
Yeah, they're up. They're up like 20.
They're up 30.
Yeah, 30 almost.
So we're gonna get Raptors Celtics. Shoot, that starts in 2 days. They're gonna start that immediately.
Do they start? They wouldn't wait for that?
No, remember they're trying to move everything up so they can get the finals done in like September so people can go home earlier. And then they trying to get the season started. It's a pain in the butt. But yeah, that series. And then if you get Bucks Heat and then you get Lakers Rockets and Clippers, whoever the hell the Clippers have to play. Like,
let's go Nuggets.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
The series everyone forgets about, the Nuggets Jazz.
It's actually a decent series. It's just not as entertaining as the other ones.
Yeah. And they're all out west and like a bunch of no-name people, like no one knows Jokic and
I would honestly watch, but they've been coming on at like the first couple games came on when I was at school, and it was like
now they're playing at 9:00, and I go to bed at 9:02. So
yep. Seriously, I've had to watch the Lakers games the next day for games 1 and 2 because I fell asleep.
yeah,
They're playing earlier tomorrow, I think.
yeah, that'll change. That'll be weird when they aren't playing games in the middle of the day anymore. I'm sure they'll probably start moving everything to more prime time. I think in the second
6 and
round.
8.
Yeah.
I would bet 6 and 8 or 6:30 and 8:30. Yeah, Pacers don't play till 7:30 or 6:30 tomorrow, so I can actually watch that one. They were playing during the day too. And the Lakers are still at 9 tomorrow. They're late again. I thought they were talking about moving them up.
Luke, you got any overarching comments or messages for the good of the group?
For all the fans out there.
For all the fans that are wanting your hot takes.
No. Sorry.
Okay.
Everybody.
I thought you were going to say the Mavs were going to beat the Clippers.
No, I'm sticking with the Clippers to win the finals.
They looked not good. Did you see playoff P's numbers today?
Playoff P's still rounding into form here.
Yeah, that's what you missed it. That's what we led off the episode with how awesome playoff P is, and the comments that Championship Chuck responded to him with, which I loved.
Oh God, it was bad. He was bad today.
Yeah. Nice Mickey Cup.
Thank you. So if we go on Thursday, we might get like game 1 of Raptors Celts and the end of some of these other ones.
Yeah, I think that would be good. Kind of let the first round conclude, and then we can start maybe prepping for second round or covering the first maybe the first game of the second round if it's Raptors Celtics.
Yep. And by then the Lakers will have 1 and 5, so we can talk about that on Thursday.
Hey, I still got hope. Rip City, let's go. Stand up.
Oh man. I hope Dame wins just because I want to watch him play more.
He is fun to watch, man.
He's my favorite player. He's awesome.
I think he's really he's upped his stock in terms of like popularity by tenfold with this bubble run he's been on. So hopefully he can keep it going, man, because I think you're not alone and everyone loving to watch him play. So
yep, it was awesome in the quarantine. I watched probably 20 Warriors games just because I didn't remember before KD, like when they won the 72. Holy shit.
Yeah.
They were unreal. So I watched a bunch of those and I'm like, God dang. But he reminds me of Steph, like the mindless shooting from 30 feet.
The fearlessness, really.
Jeez, it's unreal.
Right. Cool. All right. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap it up, and we will catch up probably midweek next week.
Sounds good. Later.
All right. See you guys.
That ends the episode for the 3-point play. Later, fellas.
Take us out.
All right.